This is that one song that you heard so many times, and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song. But then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry. Yeah. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with
He's heating up.
Coast with that gang gang. You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuck right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast, go ahead, stand up. Put that glass and hands up. Gang, 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 we famed up. Got that change, we bagged up. Cool love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy, drip so sick, I'm queasy, whoa. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. Yeah. Watch me finesse, walk to the line. Good versus evil, God in his prime. Always in prime, always on time. Our time to shine, wifey is fine. I'm doing fine, glad that you asked. God fill me up, mud in my glass. God clean me up, all that I ask.
The more
Wherever
you hate
headed,
me,
you
the
headed
more
in
you will
fast.
learn.
I am ahead, you are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas. Gas in the whip it up fast.
He's heating up.
I'm starting to spaz. Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius,
He's
kids in the
heating
back.
up.
Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa,
He's on
Wakanda
fire.
attack. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Here's the thing.
Go to the fucking gym!
Fat phobia.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Oh, normal.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 2186 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustles, and yo hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everesting K2 Flexin on all you big
fucking Catalina wine.
Yeah,
it's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Let's go. Let's zoom in. Let's get this beard in full HD or 4K if we possibly can. What is going on, fam? How are we doing? Welcome to the Sunday Funday Red, White, and Swole Q&Anus. You bring the Q's and Papa's going to bring you some brown eye. I am ready for an amazing show. Now, if you're new, make sure that you check out all the previous Ask Papa Swolio lives because this episode is unique to the Daily Swole. Every single Sunday, we just take tons of questions, so you can start dropping those questions in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. It is pure knowledge cock today, so you can start dropping your questions down below. Let's say hi to the fam, those of you that are just tuning in. We got Loretta, how we doing? Batman, what's up? Pedro, Joe, Matt, Earl of Sandwich, Brian, how we doing? Brian and Brian, what's up? Glowing Artiste, Steffi, and Greg, Nick, Cerny, everyone is here. Dawn, I am ready for an amazing man stream. Are you ready, Beaches? Get another round of applause.
Hadouken! Hadouken! Hadouken!
All right, so if you got questions, start dropping them in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. But before we do, we are going to bust this nut open. We have a great Swole card today, and you can drop in the comments, what did you smash today? So now, let's bust this nut open. Let's get today's episode started. Are you ready, Beaches? Foul call. That was solid. That was solid. Put some respect on it. Nice. Nice. Cheers. Leo drinking as usual. Cheers, everyone. Hashtag SwoleFam for a chance to win today's Swole card. Of course, we got that white, we got the red, we got the blue, we got that red, white, and blue. It's red, white, and Swole, Beaches. Let us drop that in the comments down below. Hashtag SwoleFam for a chance to win today's Swole card. That being said, we are going to get into a couple announcements tomorrow. Tomorrow. We have our accountability meeting at 12 noon Eastern time. It is our live call. So tomorrow's episode will be private for members only. Oh, come on now. Come on,
How shall we fuck off, oh Lord?
Come on, you know the deal. Every single Monday we have our accountability meeting, so don't miss out then. Join the fam today, SwoleNormusX.com, and be there tomorrow at 12 noon. All the information is right there on your homepage when you log into your account. We have exclusive SwoleFam posts, and we have brand new releases, and we'll kind of talk a lot about what's going on behind the scenes and what we got planned coming up. It's a big month of May. It's a big month. May is a big month for us. We talk about it last couple of days. We got a bunch of things going on, especially the next. We had a lot of stuff going on this past April. So April's done. Happy May, everyone. And last Friday, so day before yesterday, we had our overtime segment, which is now available inside Swole TV. So if you missed out on that live stream, my goodness, don't miss out on the replay. Catch it now inside Swole TV in your overtime section. Bonus segment is now available, and it was fucking awesome. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you didn't catch it live, catch the replay now. The most pertinent Swole event coming up is our Monday, May 8th. So that's a week from right now. It's Monday, May 1st. It's Sunday, May 1st. So Sunday, May 8th is 6 years of Swole, baby.
I am the danger.
6 years of Swole. That means we've been live every single day for 6 fucking years. Never missed a day. So Sunday, May 8th, 6 years of Swole. Be there for that. It's going to be a fun time. We'll do it right here. It's going to be a fun time. Sunday, May 15th, Daily Swole episode 22 Hundo is our release of Papa Swolio's signature series. That's me. It's my signature series. The 3rd edition will drop for 24 hours on Sunday, May 15th. So that's 2 weeks from today. And of course, we have our major release party Monday, May 30th for members only. And that is a private live stream. So don't miss out on any of that. We got a lot of stuff going on. Lots and lots of stuff going on. So it's question time. Drop in the comments below, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. And let's see what we got. Let's see what we got going on. We don't know. You never know what's going to happen during an Ask Papa Swolio live. It's always kind of like a free-for-all. We got questions on Instagram. We'll see who tunes in live, and we'll see what comes up. You never know what we're going to talk about. Whatever you want to talk about, drop in the comments below. ABCD 0908 Papa Swolio. If I naturally have an hourglass body shape, will pull-ups and calisthenics make my upper body bigger than my lower body as a female? Will pull-ups make my upper body bigger than my lower body? I'm not sure if you're asking that question or if I'm understanding that question. It's only going to get bigger if you build muscle. So, I mean, pull-ups will help. The reason why for females it's hard to do pull-ups is because for women, most of your weight is distributed to your lower body. So women have a harder time. You have less upper body muscle mass naturally than men do. So it's harder for women to do pull-ups because you're like, you're lopsided to the bottom, not necessarily in a bad way. So if you want to make your upper body bigger, then you need to build muscle in your upper body. I recommend it for all ladies. I recommend you lift weights for sure. Pull-ups and stuff, body weight exercise, you could build muscle for sure. You could build a ton of muscle. But the thing is, when you are talking about muscle building, you need to focus on progressive overload. And there is a limit to how much overload you can put on your body with just body weight, which is why using bands, using cables, using barbells, dumbbells, kettlebells, mace bells, whatever it is, any kind of external resistance is beneficial because you're going to be able to add more weight than just what you can do with just your own body. Because obviously if it's your own body weight, there's a limit to how much. You're not just going to be 500 pounds and doing handstand push-ups, right? So as you build muscle, your body just becomes more adept to lifting itself, and you can just kind of top out after a while. You could do time under tension. You could do one-arm exercises and things of that sort. You could do negatives. You could do high repetition, more volume. But it gets to the point where you need to add additional resistance if you want to increase muscle capacity. But you can definitely build muscle. Will my body shape change? That depends. That depends. I mean, your body shape will change if you're building muscle. So what you don't want to happen is you don't want to be skinny fat. So building muscle you're creating literally your own sculptor. So in terms of your body shape, I mean, you're not going to change the width of your hips, for example, but you might be referring to more body fat stores rather than in terms of than muscle, if that makes sense. So, I mean, body shape, I mean, it depends on what you mean. Like if you're losing fat and you're building muscle, then yeah, the shape of your body might change a little bit, but you're not going to change how wide your waist is. I mean, there's certain things that genetics and just your bone structure, you can't change. And I'm not saying big boned, like, hey, if you're obese, you're just big boned. That's nonsense. You could have wider hips though, for example. Some people that do competitions, they have really tiny waists, and you can't change certain things like the width of your hips. And you can't change certain things like your muscle insertion. So some people have larger muscle bellies, or they have shorter muscle bellies. They have more tendon than muscle belly, for example. So sometimes it looks different from person to person. Oftentimes it does, I should say. Kim, Papa Swolio, what does your warm-up look like? Cardio, weights, what would you suggest for a warm-up? It depends on what kind of exercise you're doing. It depends on what kind of training you're doing. So in general, there's the concept of a general warm-up and a specific warm-up. So for example, you can go for a walk, you can do some jump rope, you can do jumping jacks, you could do some sled work. I prefer doing some sled work, or I do some Indian club. You want to get your heart rate up, you just want to get your body primed for exercise, and then you just gradually just focus and shift into more specific exercises in order to prepare for whatever you're doing. So I'll usually do the same type of warm-up, whether it's upper body or lower body. And then depending on what I'm doing, I will kind of shift into specific warm-up exercises with light loads in order to activate the right muscles and also to prepare my muscles for the exercises at hand. But I do I do prefer doing things like sled work, mace bell, Indian club, and kettlebell for warming up. Even for upper body, I like to do some kettlebell work first. It's more dynamic. It's great for It's just great for cardiovascular capacity. I love the way it gets my heart rate up. I love the way it makes me feel. It's great for mobility too. So I'll do some windmills, I'll do some cleans, maybe some snatches, maybe some rotational, I forget the name, but some different, side presses in order to get my thoracic spine mobilized, maybe some deep lunges and deep squats and stuff like that. So it depends, but general warm up and then get more specific. So any way you want. Sometimes if you're at an actual gym, you could do the step mill for 5 or 10 minutes and then do some more specific activation that's based on what you're going to be doing in your actual training. Let's see here. Papa Swolio, the real question she's getting to is, Papa, if I lift weights, will I look like a dude with a prison body? You can only hope so. That's a good thing, right? I'm going to look like a jacked, ripped dude. It's like, well, if it was that easy, everyone would be like that, right? All right, let's see here. Yeah, lateral tube walking is great. Lateral tube walking is great. You can get those hip bands inexpensively on Amazon and such. All right, let's see. Jay Classy, I like it. Papa Swolio, would you consider playing a sport for about an hour to be going to the gym? No, I would not. I would consider that playing a sport for about an hour. It depends on what you're doing. Like there are some sports when you're actually not doing a lot of physical activity. So baseball is one of them. Baseball is more skill oriented, but I mean, do you have to be in the best shape to play baseball? Not really. Depends on what position you're in. I mean, anyone that plays baseball knows that. Like a lot of pitchers are not in good shape. You don't have to be in great shape to hit a ball. And I played baseball for most of my life growing up, so I know what it's like. A lot of times you're standing around, you're waiting. It's a lot of mental, it's a lot of, more mental focus and being in the right place at the right time and strategy. And of course you need to be in good physical shape to a point, but you know what I'm saying? It's different than playing basketball or soccer when you really need to be able to move, you need to be agile, and it's really going to show whether or not you're in good condition or not. So it depends on what kind of sport. So it's definitely not going to the gym. It's exercise or physical activity, but it's not the same as doing focused, resistance or focused overload training. So I'm not saying it's bad for you. It's great. If you want to have an active recovery day where you go play ultimate frisbee or you go do and play basketball, that's fine. But it's definitely not the same as training in the gym, which is another reason why people that play sports also train in the gym. O for Omega, Papa Swolio, how to start the fucking gym and not hesitate. Get the fuck off Instagram and go to the fucking gym. How about that?
The more you hate me, the more you will learn.
Not hesitate. Stop talking about it and fucking go do it. How about that? All right, Mike Miller, Papa Swolio is looking at Titan Fitness for some equipment, but some of the stuff has a warning, cancer and reproductive harm on the product. Can you or anyone here tell me if this is something to worry about? It might just be some of the plastics or something. I think that's because of California, right? Don't they have like some kind of law out there where if like certain plastics are used, they have to put a warning label on it? It might just be because of some of the material that's used, maybe in the packing or in like the foam, possibly. I mean, a lot of that, it is what it is. It depends on, I'm not sure what piece of equipment. I mean, something to worry about. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of stuff to worry about in our environment when it comes to endocrine disruptors and stuff, when it comes to like deodorants, perfumes, and lotions and shampoos, conditioners, things like that. So yeah, it's probably just one of the products that they have to list. And usually that's because of California, I think. But there's a lot of things that you should be aware of. There's a lot of fumes and toxic shit in the air and stuff. And drinking rainwater is sketchy too, of course, because there's pollution. But, there's always. Let's see. Greg, daughter wanted to go roller skating, just got back. Sad watching all the fat parents not skating with their kids because they're too fat. Good job choosing cake over your kids. Well said, Greg. Well said. I'm glad that you can do it. Good for you. Tyler, do you think it's safe to spray tan your body rather than getting the real thing? I don't use spray tan. I think that stuff's toxic garbage. There might be some more natural, some that are better than others, but it's just dyeing your skin. You may as well just go out in the fucking sun. But a lot of people do that before they get on stage so they don't look, so you can see the definition of their muscles and the lights and all that stuff. So, I mean, spray tan, come on, go get some sun. Not Batman's Robin, Papa Swolio, can diet changes alleviate arthritis? 100%, for sure. That's because it's an autoimmune issue. So if you have leaky gut, for example, you're eating inflammatory foods in your body and you're triggering an autoimmune reaction, then yeah, you can have flare-ups and you can have joint pain. A lot of you probably had that. I mean, if I eat certain types of food, I can have like swelling in my ankles. I can get bloating, or I'll feel really tight, or my face will get all puffy. A lot of people have migraines, or they'll have eczema or breakouts or rashes. Like, absolutely can help tremendously so. Let's see, Josh, at work, we have labels for that. It's from California's Proposition 45, and it's only on stainless steel and brass. No worries. Let's see. I got a burp coming. Hold on. It's coming. It's coming. Drum roll. Not bad. All right. Not bad. Johnny Eaton, Papa Swole. I'm curious. My daughter, Lavella, is 15 months old. We have fed her the cleanest foods possible. Would you feed your baby wheat, gluten? I can only text so much before it cuts me off. I wouldn't. I don't have kids, so I'm speaking from, you know, what I would do or wouldn't do. I don't even feed that to the fucking dogs. You know, our dogs eat grass-fed beef. They eat, it's not the cheapest thing to give them, but I didn't get a dog to feed it garbage food. I don't eat it myself. So the dogs eat the same stuff we do. So Rufus gets a grass-fed ground beef mixed with sweet potatoes and heart and liver, and he has some bone marrow in there and a little bit of sweet potato, and fucking loves it. Loves it. You start noticing other people's dogs and how unhealthy they look. People are showing me like their dogs, or I see them online. I'm like, God damn it, these dogs look so fucking unhealthy, just like people. Dogs will look frail and skinny because they're eating like dried kibble and shit that they can't even fucking digest. So yeah, your dogs are creatures too, and they need real food too. So I would not feed my child that stuff. Yeah, plastic bottles don't have a warning label. Well, some of them do, and they say like BPA free, but what else does it have in there? What other BPs do they have? What other bisphenols? Yeah, use stainless steel or glass. Look, glass. Just get a mason jar and use it. Glass. We have just like 10 or 15 of these in the fridge, just with cold water. Spencer, how much do you watch or follow Major League Baseball? What's your favorite team? I mean, I grew up, you know, liking the Yankees, but I don't follow it anymore. I like watching highlights and stuff. So very loosely, like I don't really know who's on what team anymore, but I mean, good plays are good plays, and a good game's a good game, but I don't sit down and watch a game at all. No, I don't follow sports. Not anymore. Not anymore. I went through periods where I would play like fantasy basketball in high school, and I was watching 3 games a fucking night. I went through those periods, and then, yeah. Let's see, Johnny, thank you. My wife was rejoicing when you said that. My baby girl has a 4-pack at 15 months and is much more advanced than her age group in daycare. Dude, I'm telling you, like, children need good food. They need animal fats. They need, you need to avoid toxins. And just think about all the stuff that people feed their dogs or feed their children. Just, it matters. It matters. It really does. It really does. Yeah, that's right, Nick. It's like vegans feed their dog a vegan. If you feed your dog vegan, that's animal abuse. Same thing with cats. That's animal abuse. It's awful. It's human abuse, honestly. But I mean, you know, humans can make that choice. If you want to eat vegan, that's your choice. But your dog or your cat can't choose that. Rufus is outside like an asshole eating some of the grass, and then every once in a while he'll like eat some grass or eat something in the dirt, and he'll like horf it up and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, see, buddy, that's not real food. Don't eat rocks, bro. Don't eat fucking rocks. All right, let's take another question. More questions? Drop in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Make sure you share the live stream right now. Share the Mancast. We got some knowledge talking.
Because stickers.
Sharon B. Beauty, what's your advice for someone that had a horrendous experience at the gym and it? Is there a second part to that? It got cut off? All right, well, I'll only take it from the first part. What's your advice from someone that had a horrendous experience at the gym? I don't know what that means. Go back and have a better one? Go to a different gym? I mean, it depends on what the context is. A lot of people have bad experiences at gyms, or, I mean, it's, do you let people get to you? Do you let things get to you? Or are you going to, you know, toughen up and just fucking do it anyway? You'll be proud of yourself once you do. It depends on the context, you know? Is it something that you need to talk to the manager about? Was someone harassing you, or what was going on? You might need a different gym. And that's another thing. If you go to a gym often and you kind of get bored, you're getting stale, go to a different gym, get a day pass somewhere else. Sometimes you just need a couple days at a different gym or a different environment that kind of stimulates yourself. You know, you get stimulated again. You get excited. Nick, I'm trying to get away from using suntan lotion or spray since my skin is so pale. Would coconut oil be a reasonable start to gradually get off of as my body gets more tan? No, don't put coconut oil on your skin. I believe Mama Swolio was saying that it clogs your pores. I use jojoba oil, jojoba oil, jojoba. It's great. I use that. It's fucking fantastic. But if your skin is so pale, you need to go get sun earlier in the day. Go out and get sun at like sunrise. Go get like sun at 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. Don't just go out at 1 o'clock and expect not to burn. You're going to get cooked. So I would not use that. Jojoba oil mimics the skin's natural moisturizers, natural oils. So you can check that out. I believe I have it in the Amazon store. So if you log into your account, you click on the Amazon store, I believe I have it there. I just got like a gallon of it and I refill the bottle. It's great. Yeah, don't use coconut oil in your skin. Let's see. And also, who wrote that again? Was it Nick? Make sure you drop that in the Swolenormous Beauty Telegram chat too. By the way, fam, make sure you go and, if you're a member, make sure you go and you join all the Telegram chats. Join Swolenormous Beauty because Mama Swolio's in there answering questions and stuff, and she can give you more details on that. All right, Matt Aoki. What up, Bish? Oh, that was nice. That was a solid one.
You can.
I see you. I see you in the back. I see you in the back. Hashtag SwoleFam for a chance to win today's Swole card. That felt nice. Chugging some water over here. All right, Matt. Hey, Mr. Swolio. Hello, Matt. How do you feel? I'm sorry. How do you get over a day off? How do you get over an off day in the gym? Weights I should be able to lift feels heavier than usual. Oh, how do you get over an off day? So you're in the gym and you just feel off. Just do what you can. And then you might have not get enough sleep. You might not be eating properly. Maybe you're not recovering properly. You're not doing enough active recovery. Maybe your programming is a little bit out of whack. Just come back the next day or take a day off, you know, do some mobility and come back and crush it again. You're not going to be at your max. You're not going to be hitting PRs all the time. So I still, to this day, after training for over 20 fucking years and doing the show, and I'm always sharing what I learned. I'm always adjusting my programming. I'm always fine tuning. I'm always listening to my body and seeing what works best for me. So yesterday I did arms. Today I did like a lower body kind of mobility. So I do at least one focused mobility, like weighted mobility workout per week where I'm just kind of like, it's a day where I'm not doing heavy weights. I'll do some kettlebell, just do some mobility stuff for my thoracic spine. I'll do some stuff from my adductors, and I'll just do more, just taking my body through a full range of motion, stretching and mobility. So you just keep on going. If you're following the 7 pillars, you're going to have days where it's not like your best, but there's still something that you can do. So if you go to the gym and you go in with the intent of lifting heavy and you just kind of feel flat, you just kind of feel off, then pivot, focus more on mobility, focus more on form. It doesn't always have to be, you don't always have to be hitting a 1 rep max. I think people have this perception that just because you want to lift heavy doesn't mean you're going to have the best performance of your life. I mean, how many athletes that are getting paid millions of dollars a year go 0 for 5? We're talking about baseball earlier. Just because you want to hit 5 home runs in a fucking game, that'd be great, but you're not going to. Sometimes you want to get 3 hits in a game or 4 hits in a game or 1 hit and you get none. Sometimes you're in a slump. Kalen, did you play Street Fighter as a kid? What the fuck gave it away? What gave it away?
Hadouken! Shoryuken!
course I did. Of fucking course I did.
You lose.
Absolutely. D2D, Papa Swolio, is it better to lift the weight and not know its improper form or keep lifting until the form takes from practice? I don't really understand I mean, never lift with improper form. Form is always paramount. So hopefully that answers the question that you're trying to ask, if that makes sense. Never lift. If you're lifting bad, form doesn't just come around. All right. Form just doesn't happen. It's like, oh, if I just keep on lifting, the form will kind of catch up. Eventually I'll just have the form. It doesn't work like that. If you lift with bad form, you're not going to get it on the back end. You're going to have to drop the weight tremendously and go back to the basics. Tyler, maybe a Matt Damon question. Well, just because you said it, I have to.
Matt Damon.
But does certain music you listen to in the gym have a great performance and can really help with mental clarity, or does it depend on the person's taste in music? Of course. Listen to music that you like. Listen to music you like. I mean, if you listen to fucking, I don't know, polka music, you're not necessarily going to have a great workout. Some people might jam out to that shit. I've gone through different things in my life. A lot of times I just lift with nothing, or I listen to something, an audiobook, or I just do it in silence. I listen to the birds and the trees and I just think. I don't need music to lift. A lot of times I don't listen to anything. But I've done lifting with classical music. I've done it all. It's great. You can get amped up by any kind of music. Just find something you like and listen to that. It's not that complicated. Will, how do you feel about the carnivore diet, and have you ever tried it? Yes, I prefer carbohydrates too. So I like a little bit of white rice or sweet potatoes now and again. Mostly steak, and beef, liver, bone marrow, organs and such, but fruit, meat and fruit. That's what I do. Meat, fruit, raw honey. That's what I do. I didn't like full keto either. I think, humans need carbohydrates, especially if you're lifting heavy and you're training hard. You need carbs. But I mean, what kind of carbs? That's definitely what we're talking about here. Thank you so much for the super chat. Blue Collar Jose, thank you. How can I get through my first month after 2 years? I'm mostly concerned with delayed onset muscle soreness. How can I get through? Add in yoga and don't overdo it. I mean, if you took 2 years off, then you can't lift the way you did 2 years ago. You have to ease back into it. Do less than you feel like doing. So if you feel really good on day one, do less. Just do a little bit. Do like a couple sets per body part. Just do a total body, do 2 sets for chest, do 2 sets of squats or something. Just do a little bit of everything. Do like 3 workouts or 3 or 4 workouts that week with very light volume, just doing total body, and then ease into it. It's going to take you a couple of weeks to get back into that flow. Don't overdo it with volume. That can really jack you up. So if you're 2 years out of it, a lot of times people are like, well, I used to get a lot of people for when I was, doing personal training, and people would say, well, I used to play football in college and X, Y, and Z in high school. I'm like, how old are you? I don't care if you used to play fucking football 15 years ago. People talk about like it's yesterday. They think it's yesterday. I don't give a shit. Hey, I used to exercise when I was 10. Great. Yeah, I used to play tag too. That's a cool story. I used to play sports. Okay. So you used to be active like 15 fucking years ago. Doesn't mean anything. Now, if you used to lift a lot and you took 2 years off, one, why the fuck do you take 2 years off? I'm curious. I would be more concerned with that. Why would you take 2 years? I've never taken a break. I mean, I shouldn't say I've never taken a break. The longest I've ever taken was like 2 weeks. And that was on in college when I came down to visit my grandparents and stuff on a, winter break or something. But I've never taken long periods off. I've always been doing something. Do yoga. Yoga's fantastic. Tyler, did you ever train clients out of the state? What do you mean? Out of the state? Did I ever? What do you mean? I mean, we're doing it now, training people. I mean, SwoleFams from all over the world. What do you mean? Jose, I didn't think of doing total body. I was just doing 3 body parts at a time. I mean, it's just do total body. The reason why it's better to do total body and just do a little bit for everything is, one, you have to get your work capacity back. And 2, if you're doing a total body workout, you're not going to be able to get enough volume for each body part. If you're like, hey, I haven't worked out in 2 years, let me go do chest today. You're going to be there for an hour doing chest. You're not going to be able to, you're going to hurt yourself. You're not going to be able to move your fucking arm. So, and plus when you haven't worked out for a long time, when you're doing just like chest, your shoulders are going to be sore. Your triceps are going to be sore. Your back, everything is going to be sore. So just do a couple sets, do like a couple pressing movements, a couple pulling movements, do a couple lower body exercise and call it a day, and just get back into like the flow of recovering and going to the gym. You need to get back into the habit of actually going to the gym. And then eventually, you know, maybe after like a week or two of doing that, or 3 weeks, then shift into doing like push pull legs or doing upper body, lower body. And then depending what your goals are, you can shift into a different type of split. Kim, how do you avoid those annoying ads that run on other YouTube channels? You pay for YouTube Premium and then you don't get ads. Yeet. And if you have YouTube Premium, you can just like, you can minimize the app and then listen in the background. So if you pay for that, you don't get ads. And yes, they're annoying. And if you use YouTube a lot, it's worth it. Okay. Tyler, how cold do you keep your room at night? I keep mine around 74 degrees with a dark room. Oh, ours is probably like high 60s. It's cold. It's cold. It's dark as shit and it's cold as fuck. I pay for YouTube Premium. I just never turned it off. I might cancel it. I don't really use YouTube enough, but I paid for it. And I just remembered right when she asked it, I remember that I probably still have it. It's probably still turned on. A lot of people pay for YouTube Premium. If you watch stuff on YouTube, then you don't have to deal with those fucking ads. A lot of people pay for it. A ton. Nick, Papa Swolio, was there an exercise you had to learn to love and appreciate? For me, it was the RDL. Now I love it. Learn to love and appreciate. Not that I can think of in that sense. I mean, I honestly never really looked at exercises, and I'm not saying that because I'm like, oh, I just don't have favorites. I never looked at it like that. Any exercise that's going to get me results, any exercise that's going to get me closer to what I want to accomplish, whether it's mobility or strength, I'll fucking do it. Like, I don't care what it is. So I love any exercise. I love all the exercises that will help me. Thanks again for the super chat. Jose, what's your opinion on chiropractic adjustments? Yay or nay? I don't do it. I'm not a believer in that. I'm not a fan per se. I think it depends on the chiropractor and what you're going there for. A lot of people go there just because they're not willing to do mobility, and a lot of chiropractors just do corrective exercise and physical therapy essentially. So if you're like, I have pain, this and that, a lot of that you can just fix with fucking yoga and dead hangs and strength training, corrective exercise. You know, if you take shitty care of your body or your health and then you think you're just going to get your back or neck cracked and it's going to make things better, that's not really necessarily the answer. So personally, I don't go, but I know some people love it. Some people don't like it. I know a lot of people that have gone and had problems after that, or they need consistent adjustments, which, you know, sounds like a nice subscription service there. But maybe it could be something that is beneficial. For example, if you have like an impact injury, let's say you get into a car accident or something where it's like impact, that maybe something did get shifted around, that some kind of adjustment could realign. You know, I just haven't had the need to go down that road. So personally, I don't. I know some people love it, but like I said, I think it depends on the situation, what you're trying to correct or what you're trying to work on. You have pretty bad posture. Jose, go to swolenormousx.com/links and try a free yoga class. Like, yoga can correct your fucking posture. No question about it. Doing dead hangs. Do you just hang from a bar? Just hang from a fucking bar. I mean, anyone in the comments, I do dead hangs every single day. It's one of the best things you could do for your shoulders and for your back. It's fantastic. But yoga is phenomenal. All right, good questions. Let's keep it going. Brian, glowing artiste. Papa Swolio, someone asked me for exercise tips for dealing with lower back pain and taking tramadol and using a wheelchair. The only thing I could tell them was to consider doing yoga with a chair. Lower back pain, they're in a wheelchair. I mean, you know, that's getting like pretty medical, but yeah, yoga is fantastic. Physical therapy too. I mean, physical therapy is just corrective exercise guided by someone who is educated in those but not everyone has insurance or can get that covered, or it's expensive if they have to get it out of insurance. So also, when someone's in that situation, what are they eating? What's their nutrition like? Sounds like they'll have a lot of other issues. So it's not so simple just to be like, oh, just do yoga. Like, it depends on what the problems are. It's not magic, right? Yoga is just lengthening, activation. It's working the stabilizer muscles. It's connecting with the breath. So I think that's a great advice. Sorry to hear about your, or whomever that was. I don't know if they're a friend of yours. Matt, how should I season my steak tonight? I got a spicy seasoning or salt and pepper. We just use beef tallow and salt. So I don't know. How should you season it? I don't give a fuck. Whatever you like, whatever's going to get in your mouth, bruh. Enjoy that steak. Jardel, Papa Swolio, are there any tips for more quality sleep? I find myself waking up every 2 to 3 hours for no reason every night. What's your evening routine like? Some ideas. Cold, dark room, like black out everything. A good evening routine, maybe sauna, meditation or yoga, some like yin yoga, some meditation at night. Some other ideas. It depends on what your nutrition is like. Maybe a tablespoon of raw honey about 30 minutes before you go to sleep, or maybe some magnesium could be beneficial, but I would try all those other things as well too, bro. You're not getting up to go to the bathroom. You're just tossing and turning. It could be like you just need a little bit of like a little raw honey might prevent like a glucose dump that can like wake you up in the middle of the night, or some magnesium supplementation, some like magnesium threonate or glycinate. Those are good options for magnesium, but try those other things first before you just jump into the supplements. Just some thoughts here that I would recommend for myself if I were in your situation. And sometimes I'll get up because I drank too much water. And I usually try to drink a bunch of water up until later at night, and I just try to piss before going to sleep. But sometimes I overdrink or something, and I wake up and I have to pee. It's not the end of the world if you wake up to piss, but it's not ideal. So just try to drink tons of water throughout the day and then taper off in the evening and go to the bathroom a bunch of times. You might feel thirsty, but you're probably not if you're hydrating properly. That way you're not getting up all night to go to the bathroom. Tyler, are static stretches important in the mornings upon waking up? If so, how much should you do for how long? Static stretches, I would recommend dynamic. I would recommend doing like a Swollen 7 or some yoga, do some activation, some glute activation, do some movement first thing in the morning. Static stretches, not so much. Make sure you're doing some dynamic, and activation is beneficial. Like a little Swollen 7 or a 5-10 minute yoga flow. Even just doing some sun salutations, do like sun salutation A or B. You could Google that too. Just doing like upward dog, downward dog, it's a very simple flow, or going into like a warrior 1 on both sides. Very easy. You could just do like 5 or 10 rounds of sun salutations, and that would be aces for you. Lacey, how important are carbs for strength if you are high body fat? I'm finding my strength going along just fine. I'm not really paying attention to the amount, but my diet is mostly steak and grass-fed beef. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some biceps and grills there.
Boom shakalaka!
Mr. Strickland.
Yeet. How important are carbs for strength if you are high body fat? I mean, carbs are definitely important for strength. No question about it. I know that from personal experience. When I first kind of came across, organ meats, this is well over 10 years ago, like liver and beef and, butter and, fats are so good for you. This is a long time ago when I first started kind of come back around in the zeitgeist. And I tried doing keto, and it destroyed my weightlifting. It fucked me up. I was just doing tons of fat. I just had no energy. I was getting lightheaded and dizzy. Like, I did it for a long time. It didn't work out well. So I started adding back in some carbohydrates, just mostly focused on protein and fat and fruit, and just fantastic. So the high body fat is, of course, your calorie balance is also what foods you're eating, sleep quality, caloric balance. So, I mean, if you want to keep higher body fat for strength training, we know that if you're very, very lean, it's going to negatively affect your hormones to the point where it does negatively affect your strength production unless you're taking exogenous hormones. So, having a little bit more body fat on you is better for performance in most cases, but it depends on what performance means. Like, you're doing strength competitions, that's important. If you're getting on stage as a bodybuilder, it doesn't really matter how strong you are. You want to look a certain way to present a certain physique, right? All right, let's see. Yeah, foam rollers are great. Foam rollers are fantastic. All right, scrolling down, good questions. That's another good point. Matthew. I guess you're mentioning about was it Jose? No, it was Jardel, right? Yeah, caffeine consumption. So like today, I didn't have any caffeine. We slept in a little bit later this morning because we had Mama Swolio was like up super fucking early and didn't get a lot of sleep last couple nights because she was doing work. She had to do weddings and stuff like that. So today we didn't have any caffeine. But if you're drinking caffeine, you really want to stop that like 10 to 12 hours before you go to sleep. So if you're going to sleep at 10 o'clock at night or 11, you want to go to sleep then, you shouldn't be drinking past like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. So a lot of people are drinking caffeine or a Red Bull or pre-workout or whatever the fuck you're taking in the afternoon. That's going to keep you up. And you might fall asleep because you're exhausted, but then you might have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. So caffeine can really fuck people up long. Caffeine is much longer tail than people realize. Oh God, hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, let's do this one. Mohaned Camel, 55. Why isn't that bringing up? Papa Swole, do you have any advice on bulking other than strict diet and tracking nutrients? On bulking other than strict diet and tracking nutrients. Well, yeah. I mean, all 7 pillars are important. So check it out, swolenormousx.com. Bulking is very important to get enough protein in and getting in a slight. You don't need a ton of caloric surplus. You don't need to be eating in. You don't need to be sucking down 5,000 calories a day. You only need to be in like maybe a few hundred, like 200, 300, 400 calorie surplus. That's a good way to, put your body in an environment where it's going to be more inclined to building muscle mass rather than, but not predisposed to storing too much body fat. If you're in too much of a caloric excess, your body's going to store more fat. So people think like, hey, I'm bulking, I'm gaining weight. They're really just gaining small amounts of fat over their entire body and retaining water. So they look on a scale and like, well, I gained 5 pounds in a week. Yeah, it's mostly fat and water weight. You're not building muscle really. So it takes a lot of time to build muscle. Really, if you've been training in the gym for a while, naturally to put on muscle, maybe a pound or 2 a month, maybe if you're doing everything perfectly, it tapers off. It's really hard to put on muscle unless you're brand new in the gym. And then of course you might ramp up a little bit faster, but over time, it's hard to put on muscle. It takes a lot of time. Katya, how'd you make your hair purple? I laughed so hard. These filters are so amazing. People think it's fucking real. Like, oh my God, you dyed your hair for this? No, fucking assholes. I see this on Instagram. They're like, you dyed your hair? It's a filter, for fuck's sake. No, I wouldn't dye my hair purple. I'm not an idiot. Like, yeah, I just dye it purple for a TikTok and I come back. I'm like, oh, my hair is fine now. The septum piercing is real. I mean, it's a real fake one. That's not a filter, but the hair is just a filter. It's a filter on Instagram. It looks good. The filters are fucking amazing. The filters are amazing now, but I wish it did the beard too. I wish it did the beard. Yeah. It's my PCOS. That's why I have a beard. I got more of those videos coming, so. What's purple haired Papa's pronoun? Stupid / fuckhead. All right. Tyler, how much muscle can you build while maintaining? Main gaining? I like that. Main gaining. I want to slowly lower my calories, but I'm still building great muscles and have good energy. How much muscle can you build while maintaining? Maintaining is completely antithetical to building muscle. Maintaining means you're not building or doing anything. You're just staying the same, which I don't encourage. I think you should always be looking to improve mobility or some sort of capacity. It doesn't always have to be more muscle size. Like I'm kind of in a spot right now where I'm happy maintaining where I'm at. Like I don't really care about putting on another 2 pounds of muscle. Like I'll get a little bit bigger. I just don't really care that much. Like if it happens, it happens. But I'm just gauging based off strength and muscle shape and development and leanness. But I don't really care that much about how much more muscle I'm putting on right now. It's just a lot of work. It's a lot of work to overload, to eat that much food and to force it in. I really just like eating once or so a day. I don't feel like eating 2, 3, 4 fucking times a day. It's It's not really my thing. Not really my thing anymore. I'd rather have, once you look, and I really do think it's a maturity too. It is getting older as well, but actually from lifting from over, I mean, I've been training since was it 2022? Like 22 years or so. After a while, it's just, I don't care about just getting bigger, bigger, bigger. Like I'm not necessarily taking anything, maybe HRT or TRT soon, maybe, but I'm more concerned about feeling good. So mobility, I want to feel great. I want my knees to feel great. I want my shoulders to feel great. I want my elbows to feel great. I want to be more athletic. And athletic in the terms of like, I want to be able to do different things and move in multiple planes of motion. I just don't want to be a big box. Like, I look really good in a Instagram picture. Like, I don't care. You know, I definitely like to have a physique and have the muscle shape and still train my body evenly and proportionally. But I don't want to be overloading my joints. I don't want to be constantly in pain or stressed out. And if you're just trying to bulk all the time, you're constantly getting injured or you're getting tendonitis or your joints hurt because you're just overloading yourself to that capacity over time. Let's see. Pedro, hypertrophy and strength training are different protocols and seasons, and progress gets jacked up when confusing the two. Indeed. People try to get bigger and stronger at the same time. It's like, or leaner and bigger. It's like people want to put on muscle and get leaner. It's like, okay, yeah. You want your cake and eat it too. Don't eat cake. All right. Frank Mueller, 328. I got extreme soreness in the biceps after a chest workout. Never had that before. Why is that? Maybe you're doing flies. Were you doing flies or cable flies or crossovers? Your biceps actually don't touch. I shouldn't say they don't touch, but they don't insert on the humerus. They actually go from the scapula to the forearm. So like when you're doing things like your biceps actually provide shoulder flexion as well. So if you're doing things like flies or cable crossovers or pec deck, you're activating your biceps as well. So it's probably because of that. Or maybe you went and you did really like a wide chest exercise, or your biceps are just tight and you didn't warm them up properly. So probably something like that. You probably did a lot of flies or cable crossovers or something like that, and your biceps are involved with that. So if you're standing there doing like a low to high fly, you know, let's say low cable flies, you're actually working your biceps a lot. Good question. Pedro, do you attend fitness expos or events? Would you consider it if you don't already do it? No and no. Don't really care. I don't attend those expos, and I have no intent on considering it. All right, Josiah 762, is keto good? We just kind of talked about it. Is keto good? I have no money for plans and shit. So do I just eat chicken and rice? Well, there's a lot to unpack here. Josiah, I really do recommend you check out the 7 pillars of Swolenormous. You're asking me the question, so I'm directing you to the best place to start when it comes to the SwoleFam. So SwoleNormousX.com, free download. Check out the main menu, 7 pillars. Keto is one option. That's just one style of eating. That's high fat, low, moderate protein, very low carbohydrate. In my opinion, it's not ideal for long-term dieting, and it's not ideal for strength training and building muscle. You have no money for plans and shit. I don't know what that means, like food plans or training plans. Like, okay, just spend your money and get some quality beef, get some grass-fed beef if you can. If you can't afford that, then get just beef. Like beef is the best thing that you're going to be eating, in my opinion. Get some organ meats in there. Just check out our content and try to join in on a live stream. We can get some more answers your way. Yeah. Chicken. I haven't had vegetables in so long, so I'm not a big fan of chicken. Chicken is my vegetable. Chicken and bacon are great vegetables. I do eat bacon, though. Chicken and rice. It's fucking chicken. God, fuck. Bolt breaker diesel. Preserving your knees while lifting heavy. Bruh. Need to make sure that you are practicing mobility. So anterior tibialis work, making sure you're getting in yoga, those deep squats, mobilizing your gastrocnemius and your soleus, doing things like reverse sled and just sled in general is fantastic for your knees because it's concentric training without the eccentric overload, which is usually where people get the most sore and where injuries happen. So you can do lateral sled, you can do lateral work, which is great for your MCL, LCL, and those ligaments. Doing reverse sled is fantastic for your patellar tendon and strengthening the quads. Not to mention, there's a lot of mobility exercise for your hips and for your knees that are fantastic, like Jefferson curls are fantastic. It's great for the lower back and the hamstrings. You can also do, of course, lots of glute activation is fantastic. Yoga, it's fantastic. So those are a lot of things. I know I just spewed a lot of shit, but we also have those master classes inside Swolenormous X, as well as, hundreds of yoga classes. So definitely check all that stuff out that I mentioned. It's fantastic. Let's see. ABCD. Papa Swole, is it weird to dance in a gym classroom if you like dancing? Is it weird? Who cares? My opinion on it doesn't matter. If you wanted to go dance in the gym classroom, like in the group exercise class, who cares? Go dance. You're paying the membership. Go do it. Doesn't matter if anyone thinks it's weird. I do a lot of things that people think is weird. Fuck them. You want to go dance? Go dance. Just don't get it confused. Don't go think that it's going to I'm going to get ripped and yoked. Go lift some weights and go dance. Have some fun. Is it weird? There's something, look, people think everything's weird. Who cares? Everything's weird to someone, right? Tyler, Papa Swolio, good questions today. A lot of questions. Keep it going. Papa Swolio, are 0-calorie sauces to add to your food the way to go? All depends on the ingredients. A lot of times those have artificial sweeteners and other things in them. So really depends on, again, elimination. Some people might be like, oh, this only has some tomatoes and this, and they have hardcore allergies to nightshades. So it really depends on the ingredients. So a lot of times they're just sweetened with other things, stevia or other stuff. So based on your elimination diet, you're going to make the right choices for you. But Noel Miller Yoga. Do you ever visit a yoga studio or do you mainly do home practice? Curious. I used to. I haven't in a while. But we have 250 classes in the yoga studio. So if I want to do yoga, I'll just pop on Swolenormous X and we'll just do a yoga class with Alex or Genevieve, or I'll do my own flow. Lately, I've been doing a lot more just mobility work, mobility with weights. So I'll do mobility is just strength through a full range of motion. So I'll do a lot of my own custom type of mobility. But pillar number 5, for example, is not yoga. Pillar number 5 is mobility. And I'm just repeating this for anyone in case you're listening and never heard that before. So mobility doesn't mean yoga, but yoga is definitely something that, of course, yoga in itself is a whole other thing. Like we're talking about from a mobility standpoint, from a fitness standpoint. Yoga, of course, if you separate it, people that are hardcore yogis will be like, it's a whole other thing, and I get it. But mobility is the strength to a full range of motion. So yoga is a component of that. So for me, I've been doing a lot more mobility focused stuff, my own kind of Swolga independent, my own individual flows and activation. So one thing with yoga is you get some activation, but yoga is a lot more for stabilizers from all my experience. You get a lot of muscle activation as well, but with mobility, you can definitely overload certain muscles and take your body through a full range of motion in different ways than you can with yoga. So the combination of the two are fantastic. And we have that with the Swollen 7 mobility flows and such. Okay, I think we are, let's see, any last questions? Any last minute questions or any questions coming in here? We got a couple more. A couple other questions on Instagram. We kind of have covered all those today. I'm kind of not interested in doing any more of those. So let's see. I like that, Loretta. Excellent. SwoleFam, one thing I've learned at 60 something, don't worry about what other people think. Indeed. And look, if there's something you want to do or something you want to do with your life or something that you want to accomplish or something you want to execute on, just remember, when you're on your fucking deathbed, you're going to wish oh, I wish I didn't care about what so-and-so thought. Just do what you want. Do what you want. Do what's right for you. Whether you want to dance in a gym, whether you want to lift a certain way or do a certain thing or start a certain business, whatever it is. It's just really important to understand that other people's opinions just don't matter. So for example, one of the things that I do a lot, I try to engage a lot on social media, and I try to really engage mostly here because we're here every day for the podcast. But on my other posts, on TikTok and Instagram, I don't really go in there too much. We have the Swole team, we're in there in the comments and stuff. I really think it's important to engage, but I don't look at the comments really. I don't care what people say about it. Like someone's always going to give me some shit about something that I'm saying or something I'm doing. People are going to agree. People are going to disagree. So as much as I can't care too much about, I don't care if people disagree. I can't care too much whether or not people agree. I just put the stuff that I believe in out there, and then people are going to like it or people are going to hate it, and everything in between. It's really none of my business if someone likes what I do or don't. If you like this podcast, that's great. If you don't, then you can watch or listen to something else. So it's really none of my business what you like or don't like. Just, it can't concern me, you know? Same thing with all of you. Papa Intermittent Fasting, any opinions? Oh, fuck all the way off, Joe. Fuck yourself. That's for you, Joe. You get a very special soundboard just for yourself, Joe. Fucking Intermittent Fasting. Kim, I watch your videos on Instagram showing you going down on your knees. Ha 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 ho, you saw that.
No need to stop being a lady. Quit worrying. You'll be back on your knees in no time.
I have practiced that over and over. I cannot go down smoothly. Suggestions on practice. You could hold on to something. You could hold on to something, or you can also put something under your knees where you can control the movement. And for example, you can, like, you probably go down, then you like flop. You can control, and then your knees will touch like a pillow. And once you control that movement up and down, you can like remove the pillow or remove the towel or put a towel on a couple books and then remove one book at a time. So, you know, sissy squats are great. Sissy squats are fantastic. Just got to practice through those sticking points, but you could also just hold on to something or, you know, balance or use your hand on something too to get started. Lacey, the need for salt as you get more muscular. I think people have been brainwashed that salt is bad. Your thoughts? I love salt. I don't restrict it. I use it liberally. Salt's great. I mean, I do think there's probably a limit to like how much you need or how much you want, because like if you have too much salt, it also, you know, might have like diarrhea and stuff like that. But I definitely use salt, and I don't weigh it. I don't count it like, oh, I had the X amount of salt, but I'll have some electrolytes or some sea salt in my water in the morning and then throughout the day. I have plenty on my food, so I get plenty of salt. Yeah, salt's extremely important. Extremely important. Let's see here. Yeah, no table salt. Just don't use table salt. Table salt's just sodium chloride. Make sure we use Celtic sea salt or Redmond real salt. Those are great two options. Fam, great fucking questions. Great fucking questions. We got a SwoleFam card to give away.
Fart in your general direction.
Oh, that's a great question. Jardel, how do you always hit the right soundboard sound so fast? Do you have a quick access button? I have a lot of buttons here. I got a lot of buttons here, and I just have a good memory. It's like a game of memory. So I have multiple pages on multiple soundboards. So I'll have to hit a button and it changes. So I have different pages for each one, and I'm always adding new soundboards. So what I realized that once I was like doing the soundboards, I was kind of like organizing where they were. And I realized like, I just need to know where they are. It doesn't really matter if there's any kind of organization. So I know where certain soundboards are. So when someone says something, I'm just really quick with it. I'm doing like 55 things at one time. So, you know, it's definitely very mentally stimulating. I have like 4 screens. I got my phone. I got a few cameras. I got a few stream decks. I have a lot of things going on at the same time. So hitting all the buttons, I got stuff everywhere. So it's just practice. It's just practice. And my brain moves very, very quickly. A lot of people have like, usually people that are changing scenes and doing this stuff for them. Like, you know, we have the Swole team. We have like the posts and stuff everywhere that where I need it. But then all the soundboards and stuff are just done live. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's fun. I'm like the Wizard of Oz over here. The fucking Wizard of Oz.
Loud noises!
And especially sometimes I see a certain word and I know exactly where that soundboard is, and I get to just drop on it. That's like it's very pleasurable. It's very pleasurable. Very pleasurable when someone says something and I just have like the soundboard. I have the soundboard. I know exactly.
You switch the samples.
So good question. Good question. All right, fam, let's give away this SwoleFam card. Are you ready, fam? Here we go. Falcon, take us away. I know. We're giving it away. Jesus Christ. SwoleFam card. Let's go. SwoleFam. Who dropped it in the comments? Who dropped in the fucking comments? Who did it? Who did it? No. No. One more time. All right. Oh, you still got a chance. You still have a chance. I played Street Fighter as a kid. I love these comments. SwoleFam, 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 SwoleFam 3. Holy shit, my mouse, where'd it go? You better pick someone, Falcon. We're almost there. I keep missing. I'm like in between people's posts. 3, 2. No, that's the last one. I'm not doing it again. Not doing it again. We got one. Oh, we got our very own Pedro, El Superman. Congratulations. You still hate the Falcon? Gotcha. No one fucking cares. The Falcon loves you, though. Pedro, congratulations, bro. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, SwoleCard20 Schwam 86 in the subject, and your mailing address in the body of the email. Fucking A. Congrats. Let's get a little America for Pedro. Congratulations. Been a minute since Pedro won a Swole card. Excellent. We'll have to get some more SwoleFam cards. I love the SwoleFam cards, especially the red, white, and SwoleFam cards. Fam, it's been a great show. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you share the podcast and leave us a review. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Let us nut this beesh. Let's do it. Nut the beesh. You can hate the Falcon. You can hate the Falcon. You can hate the Falcon, but the Falcon loves you. That's why the Falcon's so excited. All right, we're gonna take some soundboard requests. You got a soundboard request?
The more you hate me, the more you will learn.
And if anyone wants to annoy Katya, you can just request some Falcon. You know, that's possible. That's an option. That's an option.
Inconceivable!
12 noon Eastern time tomorrow for our accountability meeting. Don't miss out, beaches. 12 noon.
What's your name, fat body?
So why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
What the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
Fucking people.
Loud noises! Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball!
As you can see, my nipples have been removed from my body. Where they are, I don't know.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn! Great Scott!
Everyone's trolling Katya now. All right, no more Falcon. Go to sleep, Falcon. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
We'll see you tomorrow.
That doesn't make sense.
12 noon Eastern time. 12 noon Eastern time. We nailed it. Oh, yeah. 12 noon Eastern time. We'll be there for the accountability meeting. SwoleNormousX.com. Join the fam. Yaboosh.
Because stickers?
Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at
Go
night.
make some games, beaches. Go make some gains. If you haven't gotten your pump on yet, go make some gains. Wow.
How dare you?
First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face.
A jelly donut?
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
No hands. All right, beaches. Very nice.
Great Scott!
All right, fam, we will see you tomorrow for the accountability meeting, 12 noon Eastern time. And remember, go and check out the overtime segment if you didn't yet catch it, available now inside Swole TV. So go give that a look. And if you're not yet a member, you could join over there at SwoleNormusX.com. Remember, all memberships get access to the overtime segments, the roundtables, the accountability meetings, all the private live streams, the private groups. So you could join the SwoleFam for less than $5. And also check out our unlimited options over on the membership page because we got some specials going on right now. Go and join today because we have a big month and don't want you missing out on any of those new drops. We got some awesome stuff tomorrow and this month is going to be huge. So we'll see you there tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Your boy, Papa Swolio. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock's crashing. Like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in a fanny pack, couple hundred in a Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Ay, yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. Our topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits.